Hello and welcome. This is Roy Ryer, the founder and president of SEO Training SW and the SEO Roadmap, and I'm so glad you could join us today. What you're about to watch is a webinar recorded on May 21st, 2013, and it's the first half of a teleconference we had with our students who purchased our Home Study Master Level SEO Training course. During this 45-minute video, we will be discussing with you a copywriting formula that will increase your conversions and traffic, along with information about our white label SEO consulting services, which you can use to increase the profitability of your business. If you have any comments and/or questions about the information presented during this pre-recorded webinar, please share them by using the comment area on the bottom of this page. Enjoy. Good evening, everyone. This is Roy Ryer from SEOTrainingSW.com, and this evening we're having our webinar with our Master Home Study course folks. We're going to record this entire presentation. The first half is going to be open. We're going to be making a video out of this, and then the second half is just going to be exclusively for our Master SEO Training students. Now, just guys, do me one little favor before I begin, because sometimes I have a problem in starting something up. So if you could type into the little chat box, if you could see me and also see my screen. Just take a second here. Okay, good. Okay. Thank you, Steve. Thank you, David, Fabiano, everybody else on the call. And again, my name is Roy Ryer. I'm the CEO and president of SEOTrainingSW.com. And let me share with you tonight what we're going to be discussing. I'll be sharing with you some copywriting tips in my part of the presentation. How you can get your copy to optimize your copy for the reader. Not so much for the search engines, but for the reader. And then Fabiano is going to be talking about TKO's marketing white label program. Those of you that are in our Master SEO training class, if you heard about it, we speak about it a little bit in our Master video set. And we've had a lot of questions this past week about it. So Fabiano and David are going to spend a little time of that. And then we're going to get into the members only section. David has some really great information for you guys this evening for our master students. He's going to be sharing with you some stuff. He's also going to be answering a lot of questions. We've had a lot of questions that came in this week from you guys. And David's going to be running down those particular questions. And then we're just going to open it up for just general questions and answers for our master students. So we'll go ahead and I'll begin my presentation right now. I'll be sharing with you some very powerful copywriting tips. Now, before I do that, let me give you a little background on something I've been involved in. I've been involved in Toastmasters now since 1985, actually. I joined Toastmasters way back then when I was in law enforcement. And to tell you the truth, I joined Toastmasters because at the time I was an undercover cop. And I wanted to learn how to lie more effectively when I was in an undercover situation without appearing to be nervous. So, being involved in the Toastmasters really helped me learn how to speak in front of groups. Now, we just had a new member transfer over to our club here just recently, and his name is Nick Nicholas. And what's really cool about Nick Nicholas, he's also been a long-time Toastmaster. But he's also been the personal coach for Zig Ziglar. Zig Ziglar's, probably one of the most famous motivational speakers ever. And Nick has worked with Zig on on how to give presentations and stuff like that. So now you might be thinking to yourself, guys, well, okay, now what does this have to do with internet marketing? Well, it has a lot to do with internet marketing. First off, for myself, I do speak in public. I spoke at PubCon. I speak at other events throughout the country. And, speaking in front of a group of, 10, 20, hundreds of people, you need to learn how to speak and present your presentation properly. Also, you're on a webinar tonight. And in a sense, this is sort of public speaking. I'm speaking to you live tonight out of my home here in Morristown, Arizona. I put this presentation together for you tonight. Going to be sharing with you a lot of great information. Also, I do a lot of YouTube videos. I do a lot of affiliate stuff. You might know me as Radar Roy. And on my Radar Roy YouTube channel, I do a lot of affiliate videos, reviews of radar detectors. I have over 200 to 300 videos on my Radar Roy channel. And I also do a lot of SEO training. We do a lot of in-house SEO training here in our offices here in Morristown. Also, David, myself, Jeanette, we're also asked to go out to companies. A good example, just recently here, it was in Southern California. There was a marketing agency that asked us to come in and give a presentation about SEO to train their staff. And when you really think about it, your copy, your written copy that you're putting together, that is a presentation. It's sales copy or whatever it's going to be. So that's presentation material. So what I'm going to be sharing with you this evening is going to help you sell more stuff. Bottom line, all right? You're going to sell more stuff by using some of the strategies, the recipe I'll be sharing with you tonight in developing your content. You're going to be able to create more loyalty from your list. Your followers, you're going to get a lot more followers. People are going to share your information a lot more. And you're going to turn these people into what's called raving fans, your tribe. All right, people are going to be following you. So, as an example, I have two tribes. I have my Radar Roy tribe. I'm an expert in radar detectors. So by doing this, by writing really great copy, by doing these videos, I'm recognized in that particular niche as being one of the experts in the radar detector niche. In my SEO hat, I'm recognized as being one of the top SEOs out there. All right. So this is what's going to happen. These are some of the results you're going to be able to see by using some of these strategies I'm sharing with you. Now, this is going to be step number one when you're presenting, putting together your copy. Now, Nick called it the ho-hum crasher. All right. And the way Nick explained it, people are going to be doing other stuff. He's a professional speaker, and he speaks a lot at workshops for attorneys, for lawyers. And he said that the lawyers were the worst because, the only thing that's on a lawyer's mind while they're sitting in that presentation is hey, right after this presentation's over, I could hit the bar, I could go out golfing, I could do all this fun stuff I came here for, right? So that's what they're thinking about. So you got to bust through that. You have to grab their attention. In internet marketing, we have to do the same thing because we're competing against a lot of stuff. And this is commonly called what is called a pattern interrupt. All right, where you're basically going to interrupt what's ever going on in your prospect's mind to grab their attention. Now, I'm going to be totally transparent here. I stole this next slide from Frank Kern. He just gave a presentation on something very similar to this, and I thought this slide was just awesome. Because when you're out there, one of the things you're competing with are boobs, right? So here's a perfect example of some of the things you're going to be competing with. You're competing against boobs, right? Facebook, you're competing against all these other things that are going on in your prospects' minds, right? And you only have seconds to grab the attention of your prospect. Now, if you're speaking in public, you have the benefit of maybe 2 or 3 minutes to really, grab your your prospect's attention. Now, if you're doing YouTube videos, it comes down to a lot much shorter, guys. We've been taught to watch YouTube videos the way we watch TV, right? You have the remote control in your hand. You're scanning through the channels. So if you don't grab your audience's attention in 9 seconds in your video, you've lost it. Okay? So you just have 9 seconds in a YouTube video. Now, when you're written content, you have basically the same thing. You're writing your copy. And if it's boring, if it doesn't grab your reader's attention, to draw them in. What Joe Sugarman called that slippery slide. To grab them into that, you're going to lose it. Now, your most important part of your article is what? It's going to be the headline. That's what's going to draw them into your article. So you need to have a captivating title, something that's going to offset your particular audience. Wow, this title is really interesting here. I wasn't ready for this. What's he talking about here? And then have your copy. Create that slippery slide. So whatever type of presentation you're going to be doing, whether it's a video, whether you're going to be doing a webinar, whether you're doing written content, you have to grab that attention from your audience. Well, how do you do that? Well, the easiest way to do that is ask a question. Just start off your presentation, your article, your video with asking a question. Now, I want to take you back to when I started this. I used this on you. I started tonight's webinar by asking you, can you hear me? Can you see my screen? Hey, and what did you do? I'm looking at the chat box right here, and I literally have 80% of you were typing, yeah, I can see your screen, Roy. I can hear you, Roy. So I interrupted your pattern by asking you a question and getting your interaction. Now, this is how I did it in tonight's webinar. Now, when I'm selling radar detectors, it's going to be totally something different, especially in my videos. I'm going to ask a question. Are you looking for the best radar detector for your Harley Davidson? Or, whatever it's going to be. All right? Are you trying to beat out the cops, with a stealth radar detector so you're not going to be seen? Now, when you ask a question, it's impossible for your brain to ignore the questions. If you're looking at boobs, right? You got another screen open, and you're looking at Facebook, and all of a sudden you hear this question. Your brain is automatically going to answer that question, okay? And it's going to answer that. So now this sets you up for part 2 of the formula. They've answered the question in their head. However you did that, you did a pattern interrupt. Now you set them up for part 2 of this formula. And part 2 of the formula is, why'd you bring this up? Why did you ask me that question? Now this becomes your bridge. The bridge to whatever your content is going to be. Now, while you're answering why you asked that question, one thing you need to focus on is what is called, you want to sell the belief before you sell the relief. So often, I probably see this in probably 90% of the websites that are out there in internet marketing. Right away they go into the features. As an example, I've been in the radar detector niche, for 15, 16 years. And all my competitors out in that niche still say, radar detector, it's got X-band and K-band, it's got this, it's got LED display, got all that. They're not interested in that. All right? You need to sell them the belief. Why is it important for you to have a radar detector? And an example, one article I had put together that was very, very successful for me in the radar detector niche. And basically I opened it up with a question. Did you know that if you got a speeding ticket, that your insurance would go up $500 a year for the next 5 years? All right? I asked a question. Now, why did you ask me that question? Well, now I go into this. Okay, did you know by having a radar detector that you might have been able to avoid that speeding ticket? And now I built my bridge to where I'm going with this. Now, another bridge you can use is what's called the then, now, and how formula. And I'm going to go into a little bit on how I've used this. If you've been following me for any amount of time, I'm going to give you a perfect example of how I've used this. You've probably heard my story before about Carol Sprague, but I'm just going to wait till then to show you how you can use a then, now, and how formula. Now, after you created your bridge, you're answering why I asked you that question. The next part is going to be your content, your experience of what is going on. Now, just don't get into blah, 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 blah stuff, right? People want to be entertained, all right? The internet today is an entertainment medium. It's an entertainment. People, watch videos. They're sharing fun stuff with their friends. So if you're going to be effective in whatever type of material, whatever assets you're going to be developing for your prospects, remember, you need to make it fun. You need to make it entertaining. All right? But you also need to give a benefit. Whatever presentation you're going to be giving. All right? What is the benefit of using this particular radar detector? What is the benefit for attending this webinar? What is the benefit for your copy that you're sharing with them? And the benefit is you're going to be educating. You're going to be educating your prospect. Okay? Now, remember, we need to entertain and we need to educate. And through this process, we want to build ourselves up as an expert in this particular arena. Now, the trick in building yourself as an expert is to write, star in, and narrate whatever presentation you're putting on. Tonight, I'm narrating this webinar. All right, so I'm framing myself as an expert in this particular content that I'm sharing with you tonight on how to develop content. And another presentation where I talk about SEO and internet marketing, I'll be narrating those, and I'm setting myself up as the expert. I'm educating you, and I'm hopefully entertaining you what I'm doing with this presentation. Now, you need to talk more about your prospects, about your prospects' pain points, all right, rather than you. You don't want to make your presentation we. You know, go to your About page, guys. You know, this is where you could talk a little bit about we. You go to a home page of a website. What do you typically see? Welcome to our website. Blah, 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 blah. Right? We're the best. We make the best blue widgets. They don't care about your damn blue widgets. They care about themselves. How can your blue widget benefit them? You know, sell the relief. What relief will your blue widget give them? So think about that. Make your content about your prospects, how it's going to help them, how it's going to be beneficial to them. And a really easy way to do this is storytelling. Now, when you're doing your storytelling, include your prospect's desired outcome rather than your stuff. Wait to the end to sell your stuff. Your stuff comes into the call of action. All right? That's the last step of this. So what is your prospects? You need to know what your prospects' beliefs are. You need to know what your prospects' pain points are and tell that in the story. Now I'm going to move into how I've done this with you in the past if you've been involved in any of my presentations or in before. It's my Carol Sprague story. All right? I'm going to start out with Carol Sprague's then story. This was during my first internet SEO class, way back. I think it was around what's this? It was about 2008. Carol attended one of my first SEO workshops. At the time, Carol was an administrative assistant, earning $8 an hour, 67 years old, right? The only reason she was working was to get that extra money to help pay for her health insurance, for her and her husband, all right? And Carol had very minimal computer background or experience. She didn't even know how to cut and paste. This is the truth. She didn't know how to cut and paste. So that's Carol's then story. I go into a lot of detail. Now here's Carol's now story. Today Carol rides around in a motorhome, traveling all over the USA with her husband Dwayne, because 6 months later, after attending my SEO workshop, we worked together in creating her website. She was very successful, quit her job in 6 months. In 1 year, she bought a brand new house, she bought a brand new motorhome, and she bought her husband, Dwayne, an airplane. Within 1 year, she became a millionaire. And how did she do that? That was her then, now. All right, now this is how she did that. We worked together in developing her website, tirepressuremonitor.com, which went to #1 in Google for tire pressure monitors. So there's my then, now, and how story. Now just think how you can rephrase this same type of formula, use this same strategy with your prospects. You should have a then, now, and how story for maybe one of your clients, one of your customers, or it can even be you. Now, after you tell your then, now, and how story, the next thing is that you need to build a second bridge, all right? And your second bridge is to what you have bottled up. Now, the bottle is whatever your product is. You need to reduce the pain. And while we're talking about that, let's go right into that. Where there is no pain, there is no gain. Remember Carol's story, earning $8 an hour, an administrative assistant, trying to scrape money by just to pay for her health insurance. There's a lot of pain in that story. And when there's no pain, there is no gain. So you're offering a formula. And this formula is all bottled up, and your pain, however you help this out, right, is their relief, their shortcut to whatever outcome they want to achieve. Now that is step 3. Next step is step 4. You need to have a call to action. You need to tell people what to do next. Now every presentation, every article, every blog post, every video, every webinar you might do must have a purpose. What do you want your client or your prospect to do next? Now, I'm going to be very transparent with you. There's only one call to action I want you to do tonight if you're watching this video on a replay. And that is to move your mouse over to the left-hand side of the screen, and on the left you're going to see a Facebook share button. You're going to see a LinkedIn share button. You're going to see a Google Plus button. Please do me one favor. Your call to action right now, if you've enjoyed this video so far, is to move your mouse over there and click on that, and to share this video, this article, with your friends and family. Now, you should only have one call to action. 2 at the very most. If you go over 2, you're going to confuse your audience. All right, okay, I had this one call to action. Okay, now number 2 seems pretty cool, but now he's got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What do I do? All right, you're going to dilute your call to action. So try to focus on only having 1, the most 2 call to actions in whatever type of presentation you might be doing. Now, you need to ask for your call to action. If you don't ask for it, chances are they're not going to do it. Now think of, the way I phrase this in my workshops is to think of your visitor to your website as a little puppy dog. And you put a collar around your puppy dog, and you put a leash on your puppy dog, and you lead them around where you want them to go. Now your visitor to your website is the same puppy dog. What do you want them to do next? Where do you want them to go? So in your article, tell them where you want them to go. You know, for more information on this, click here, go here, do this. In your videos, have a call to action. Call my phone number if you'd like more information. Whatever it's going to be. Now, your call to action is going to have to be in their best interest. If there's something, hey, I don't feel secure, I don't feel safe, this is not in my best interest, I'm out of here. All right? So remember, whatever call to action that you're going to be providing your prospects are going to have to be in their best interest. And you're going to have to give them a beneficial reason of why now. Why now should you be doing this? All right? Because if your prospect leaves that particular page, leaves your website, leaves your YouTube video, leaves your webinar, leaves whatever you're presenting, chances are they're never going to come back. So unless you give that prospect, hey, you have to do this now because it might be a scarcity. This offer only runs out in 4 days, and then it's over for good. Whatever that is, you need to figure out and give a beneficial reason of why now. Now, if you follow this little formula I shared with you, these are what some of the results you're going to get. You're going to have a much higher response rate from your prospects. All right? You've told your audience, hey, you've asked your audience a question, then, okay, this is why I asked you the question. This is to sell the relief before the relief. You're going through your story, then, now, and how, and you're going to get a lot higher response. People are going to engage with your content. And because of that, you're going to have higher conversion rates with your content. Whatever content you're going to be doing, videos again, YouTube videos, webinars, articles, whatever. All right? And when you have those higher conversions and more visitors, you're going to get better positioning in Google. And what's the end result when all this happens? You're going to make more money. You're going to make a lot more money. So guys, the only call to action I ask from you tonight, if you've enjoyed my presentation thus far, and as you're watching this as a replay, again, please click over to the left-hand side of this page, and on the left you're going to see our Facebook like button, our Twitter button, our, the buttons there on the left, the Google Plus button. Please share this with your friends and family. It basically enables us to get this information out to a wider audience, and it's kind of cool. It just kind of helps us out. So I just kind of ask you to do that, okay? Now, the next part of this presentation, Fabiano was going to join with us, but Fabiano's experiencing some technical difficulties right now with his computer. So Dave Evans, David, you're chatting and you're ready to go. All right, so Dave Evans is going to discuss with you the white label program.
Okay, we've been having a lot of questions on the white label program and our reseller program, and we just wanted to address this a little bit, so give you a little better idea what it is. And the basic question is, how can you grow your company, or if you're just an individual, how to make more money. One of the biggest issues that internet marketers face starting out is being able to either handle the workload or afraid to accept a client because it's outside of your capabilities or your scope of knowledge. And so we've wanted to create a system where it doesn't matter what client you take, you can fulfill it. And that's where this whole program started out, is basically trying to help you and to make a little bit more money online, but still put out quality work and all that forward. But the issue in internet marketing is the topic of trust. Not only are they, you want good people running the companies and working with your clients because it is your name, but you also want to have it done right. And there are a lot of large companies out there, Endless Rise, outsourcers in the Philippines and stuff like that, that a lot of people use. It's just the whole issue is, can you trust them? And more importantly, when Google Penguin 2.0 comes out in the next couple of weeks, are you safe? Are your clients safe? And that's what we want to do. We want to create an ethical system, one that's backed not only on stuff that we have proven, but also that we teach and recognized as the leaders in the industry in teaching this. So we have the added benefit of not only teaching this and getting them around a lot of different internet marketers, but also we do this daily on our clients themselves and see rankings there. Now, one of the things that's happening, especially probably since last year, is SEO was getting lost in the noise. Matt Cutts, just in his last video that he pushed out on his blog, said that by the end of the summer, SEO will be dead. Now, that's always been floated around, and don't worry, SEO will always be there. But SEO, as we know it, is dying or leaving. And there's a couple things that have happened with that. One of the biggest ones is the traditional marketing companies. It took them, a good 5 years before they understood internet marketing and added all of those elements to the big marketing firms. Your New York massive not law firms, but massive marketing firms, your California marketing firms, all the big guys out there that had dominated the industry for decades, finally caught up. And these are the guys now that either bought out other companies or now are active in this space. The other side of it, SEO has changed. It is no longer a wild, wild west scenario where anybody can rank. It does take more money now. If you're going after the bigger search terms, it has to be well planned, well played, and you just can't get away with some of the stuff before and muscle your way into it. If you don't have a brand behind you, it makes it a lot harder. So SEO has been lost in this noise, and for someone to break into this market, it's becoming more difficult. Now, there still is some game way, with the smaller clients and stuff like that, but the bigger you are, or going after the bigger clients, you have to have a bigger front. You're not going to walk into a client that's going to spend $5,000 to $10,000 a month without, they're going to ask you, so what clients have you worked on? Who's all on your team? Can I look at you, see what's going on? And when you're by yourself, you're not going to be able to go up against all of these other agencies that are out there, because the client base is so much more educated now than it used to be. They're on their 5th, 6th, 7th different marketing company, their SEO company. They're not just out there trying to break in online. They're looking for someone to really make an advantage. So you need a team behind you. The white label concept says we're your team, and what happens is I've been on many of a call where one call I'm a part of a tech team of somebody's company, and the next call I'm on a totally different company. I'm whatever face I need to be, or our team needs to be, that's what we take over and do. So whatever your company is, if it's a white label deal, we come in there and we act like your tech team, and we fulfill it for you, and the client has no idea in this, but it's making it a little bit harder. Some of the players that are out there, one of the things that I'm seeing right now is we're not just competing with internet marketing companies. We are competing with lead gen companies, from print, mail, just the traditional media. We're dealing now with TV and radio. Those players realize that they can market straight to the client a little bit more on the internet concept. Old print campaigns, companies are now jumping into the internet marketing side of it. The internet marketing field has kind of consolidated. You have probably 10 to 15 large companies now that are out there spending. I know the biggest company that I found is spending about $30,000 a day in advertising online. So there's some bigger players out there that are competing that makes it where you have to have a bigger identity out there. And one of the things that we've always been known for is who we are, our quality, our efficiencies, that side of it, because we teach this. So when they see what we teach, they see, if you jump into Google right now and type in Google Penguin 2.0, you're going to see my face. I think it's number 6 or number 8 right now in Google. You're going to see us as leaders in this niche for some of the major things that are happening. On the other side of this, products, we are known for our products. We usually build a custom base and systems that a company can take and really improve their rankings, and that is very, very broad. And then also we're very, very solid on process. It all comes down to doing the checklist. We have to have the checklist. And then thirdly, it's the support for the client. Weekly we're interacting with that client, making sure that the customer is happy, understanding what's going on, and all of that. So let's just get started here a little bit and just show you a few of us right now. Most of you will know the images here, but Roy Ryer's on the top left, Jeanette in the middle, and Stephen Farino. Jeanette handles a lot of the affiliate side, and some of the blog syndication, article marketing, affiliate side is where she's plays a large part in. And Stephen is our technical officer. He handles all of our major programming issues, and we're actively building a team of tech people around him right now. I'm in the bottom left there. I pretty much just manage the day-to-day operations and make sure all the client work is being done and the teams are in process. Fabio Mora is in the bottom middle, and then Bruce Saffron is also our sales manager. And there's a question mark here that says, and this could be you. You could come right alongside of us and join our team, and where we can combine with you and help you make more money online. And there's also a screen capture there of what our day looks like. We always have GoToMeeting running, or Skype chat, or video calls going nonstop. That's how we do a lot of business, and you can have a part of that. And some of the things that we've worked on recently, Trump Network, CertifyMe.net, Farmers Insurance, JD Mellberg, a lot of these are the ones that we're actively playing on. One of the things that's very interesting, we do have a large white label concept, but that just means that the client doesn't see the TKO marketing brand. So a lot of the clients that we work with don't even know that TKO marketing exists. It's your company, or it's somebody else's company that we're taking the face of. So because of non-competes, because of that side of it, right now over 80% of our clients we're not allowed to mention. And we've got some large clients that we cannot disclose just because of the white label concept. But there again, it's your brand, it's your name that's getting out there. We just stand behind it and fulfill it. So some of the things that we've managed, over $6 billion a year in pay-per-click. That one of the issues with pay-per-click, we have written over $170 million in written business through pay-per-click, and took one of the companies from $30 million a year up over, I think now they're going to push $300 million this year. Over 50 active client campaigns, and an active client campaign can be more than one website. It can be a lot more than one website, but that's what our target is right now. And right now we have a very fine-tuned staff. We have 13 on payroll, and then we build out outsourcers as needed per project, just to keep it at cost and to make it function properly. And we have access to a lot of different techniques. It can be, with Newsmax, it's advertising through specific demographics, or we can go straight advertising and different advertising campaigns. But what does the partnering with TKO and the SEO roadmap mean? The first thing is compensation. It allows for you to make money just by building a client base. It also gives you access to the products, to the services, and one of the things that we've been putting a lot of attention into is the training and support. Making sure you know the language, making sure you know how to sell, making sure you know how to support a client, interact with the client, that side of it. And one of the things that has made us very successful is our high client retention rate. I don't know what our stats are lately, but I know it's I think it's pushing high 90-some% of a client retention rate after the first contract of signing a second contract. It's worked really, really well. That's been our one of our main tools that we've had is a high client retention. And then scalability. We can take a small project up to some of the largest projects that you have out there, and make sure that you can complete that project task. A couple little projects here, just so you can see how we think and how it interacts, is like an SEO national package. That would say, okay, someone has a national website that's trying to go after a national keyword. We have certain packages there for them that they can that you can kind of sell without our putting a custom solution available. Sometimes maybe somebody calls you up and says, "Hey, I've got 3 or 4 keywords I'm trying to push in," and you have a package that you can sell versus us getting a call together and doing a whole full custom solution unless it's needed. And then the custom side of it is getting with the client, planning out entire kind of mind map concept, where they're going, what type of leads they have, what kind of traffic, and building out the custom solution. Same thing on the local. It can be a local package of some local plumber is trying to rank for a certain key phrase, and then we go after that package, and you can sell that package without really letting us know until it's sold. That way we can move quickly and get things done without spending a lot of time interacting with that. And then custom, sometimes you have a large lawyer or dentist in a large city. That's going to be a custom solution just because of it. The third thing here is probably has been one of our biggest selling points, and that is the concept of an audit. An audit just takes all of their internet marketing and just goes through it with a fine-tooth comb and says, okay, this is good, this is bad, this is what you need to do next. And some of these are very, very expensive. If you get a large e-commerce site that has 10,000 pages, that can run in the thousands of dollars. Where we usually start out around $7.95 for a typical audit, but it gives them a full document. We meet with our tech team, review it with them, tell them what to do, and it really is a good selling point for the client. It gives them kind of an insurance to know what needs to be done, and also that we know what we're doing because we've pointed out all the issues with it. Especially with Google Penguin 2.0, I know we're getting a lot of feedback already. Hey, can you do this? Take a look at our site and make sure that everything is going and move on with it. And we're adding more projects and more products as we're going on. So if you see our list, then you'll know what we have and see what's available. But we want to become your partner. This is not just where you're out here without any support, without any background. We are there to come alongside you and work with you on a daily basis and become your partner in it so you can succeed. All of this is based off of the SEO roadmap that we teach. Those of you who've been to the advanced class, our client work is based off of that, making sure that we hit all of the main points that we teach because we know it works. We've proven that it works. On your screen right now is just a list of some of our products. I know it's very small, but if you're interested in some of those projects and products, let me know and we can get that list off to you. Here again are some of the prices. If you have hourly WordPress work, WordPress maintenance, updates, audits, things like that, we have those available for you to sell, and we fulfill it for you. Just some of the commission structure that you wanted to look at, and there's a couple different levels in this. It really comes down to the amount of work on each party. The level 1 is basically where you're out there selling, and you interact with the client, and we don't interact with the client. You sell, you deal with the client communications, we fulfill. In that case, it's a 15% commission of the contract. The level 2 is we sell. You make the contact and you turn it over to us, and we close the deal. We work with the client communication, all of that. So it all depends on the type of communication we have with the client. Based on the communication. I know some people just want to go and create leads. They do cold calling. They do advertising. They get the leads. They send it right to us, and we work the lead and close it. And other people want to just work with the client, and we do all the fulfillment. The level 3 is where it's your company, it's your name. Our name is not on anything. It's where we fulfill everything, and we have no interaction at all with the client. It's all on you. And at this point, that's under your name. The client has no idea that we exist. Where with like the level 1, we're interacting with the client. You're a reseller. It's still our brand. So that's kind of the difference right there. So a white label is where you handle all the client. We fulfill on the back end. We provide the reporting straight to you, and you turn it over to the client and interact with them totally. Also, as a retailer or reseller or a white label individual, we have marketing materials, white papers, product sell sheets, deliverables, selling videos, all of that for you to help you sell. And we're adding to this, almost daily right now of making an environment that's easy for you to go out and sell. One of the things that I'm noticing is that to make somebody successful in this, we have to be there daily with them and have good marketing materials with them, good videos, good interactions to keep the motivation going, and make it easy for you to sell what we're talking about and what we know that is working. And then, to close this off and to get it involved, we have an agreement that you can go down through a confidentiality clause, basically saying that you're not going to disclose the techniques that we use, and also we're not going to poach on your clients. We're not going to go around you and try to work a client that you brought to the table. And then also having access to our training back end, and also where we do all of our client work and task management systems. And that's where your day-to-day operations will be done. So this allows you to work on your business rather than the day-to-day in your business tasks that can be mundane and be hard to work on. It allows for you to do what I like to call the Pareto principle, the 80-20 rule. You can focus 80% of your time on that 20% that really brings you the money, and we can fulfill everything else in the back end. And ultimately, what we want to hear is that you can make more money. You have the opportunity to go out and get bigger clients, get more income happening, and especially residual income over time. So if you are interested in this, you can go ahead and contact Fabiano. I know he joined here. I'm going to open up for him for a few minutes to give his perspective on it. He runs the reseller and the white label program. And if those of you have any questions right now, you can put it in the chat for him, and then we can address it as we're going along. So Fabiano, okay, you're here. Go ahead.
Okay, thank you, David. That was a great rundown of the whole program. Just to reiterate some of the things that David said, this division of our company has been growing more and more. We're very excited to be launching and growing the white label division along with the reseller. So there's different levels of opportunity, whether you are a company, in a white label scenario, or a reseller out there, or just a very good salesperson. We're going to great lengths to add a lot of training, like he was saying, to get our verbiage and the way we approach. We do SEO quite a bit different, and I believe that the different points that we bring to the table are actually very solid differentiating factors when you're going to go up against other SEO companies, or what a lot of the market has been talking about, or the way that people get approached for SEO. If you've been in SEO or online marketing any amount of time, let's be honest, you know that companies are getting bombarded out there with sales calls and different SEOs. A lot of our clients often get several calls a day for companies, SEO companies, chasing them. Once they get on with us, we have very good communication and very good relations with the clients that we're very quickly easy to establish our value. So that's one of the things we bring to the table, along with a lot of other differentiating points that I would like to highlight and get you guys trained on and familiar with, so that as you represent us, it'll be quite easy based on our training division on Roy's side, our past clients and case studies, our results, and our methods to just lay out the case and make it very apparent to your clients that we are a good choice. And if we are doing a white label solution, then the benefit is you get to take all of that kind of platform and use it with your company as well. And the results that we achieve, you pretty much take the credit for, and we're the silent engine running underneath the hood that the client doesn't know about, and the credit goes to you. So everybody wins in that scenario. We like to do a good job for you, and the end goal is to make the clients happy and get return on investment and exceed their expectations. So we're excited to be pushing this. Feel free to contact me. The best way to reach me is going to be by email. I respond much quicker to those. The phone is usually ringing quite often, and I'm often on calls. So email is a pretty good way to get a hold of me, and we'll get back to you promptly, and we can keep the process going.
Okay, very cool. David, you hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I just changed the batteries. I guess I had a dead battery in the other thing. Just have some questions coming in here. One question is from Steve, and this is earlier during my presentation about the video. Stephen had asked, is there an optimal length? It depends on what kind of video it is, Stephen. But typically, if you look at your analytics in YouTube, you could actually see where the people are dropping off. And typically, when I'm doing like a video for like any of my radar detectors or things like that, I try to keep them to about 2 or 3 minutes, unless I'm really giving some really really powerful information out there, something unique. because typically after 2 or 3 minutes, people kind of drop off. So, Steve, I hope that answers your question a little bit. Of course, like if it's on a webinar, it's going to be a lot longer. Like this replay is going to probably be about a 45-minute video. Then this question is from Mark, and it's to you, Fabiano. What type of training do you offer the resellers, and is there any type of cost to that?
When you first join the program, one of the things that happens immediately after signing the NDA and the agreement, the commission agreement, is that you're going to get a login and an invite to our training portal. It's basically a project management area where I've uploaded sales sheets and a lot of marketing documents that you can rebrand as your own, just selling, positions and objection handling and kind of just some marketing promo material. In addition to that, at the beginning of the program, I was holding weekly webinars with the initial team. It was a group of about 12 of us that were on resellers. And we walked through the training area. We walked through each product, how we position them, how we sell them. We walked through major objection handling. Anytime we come up with any new product, we will put together a training video along with it, because behind the scenes, we're talking about this new product that came up, or this new bundle, or a new way to package our services. And all that discussion of why that came to be and how we could present it to clients and what pain points does it serve and what are the ways to pitch it and sell it, all of that is wrapped up into these videos. So you can expect that anytime there's a new product or a new service or a new configuration of them working together, that we will put together a training video just so that you understand how we are talking about it, how we are presenting it, the value we see in it. And if it was myself, David, or Roy selling this to a client or walking them through it, that's what you're going to get in these training videos. So they relate to products, and some of them are they relate to kind of the inner workings for a reseller. So this document, this agreement, using the contracts, how do we handle kind of processes and procedures. And then the other part of the training is more product specific.
Now, David and Fabiano, I just want to make a comment. And one powerful comment that you both made, actually was David during the presentation, that you should be working on your business rather than inside your business. And I think that's a very powerful statement. A lot of people on this call tonight, with the 1 or 2 man agencies, they're inside, what their office is, doing the keyword research, doing the web design, the images. That's not where you're going to be making your money. You're going to be making your money going out and marketing, knocking on doors, whatever you're going to be doing. Speaking at chamber events. So, Fabiano, could you give maybe just a little tip on, some simple ways that you discuss in your training, some of the ways, you teach about how to market their business, get out there in front of the public, some tips or suggestions rather than working in their business?
Yeah, and I'd love to speak on that. That's a very important point, and that hits very close to home because I have been there in my early years of being a one-man shop with SEO, and you get all the great training, you know how to do SEO, but you get to this position to where you're one person with set amount of hours in a day, and I got to a point where, I got 8 or 10 clients, and then there goes my time, and I'm serving them well, but I have no more time to sell or grow my revenue. I have no more time to to do all of these extra things that I'd like to do for them. I basically reach my capacity, and like David often says, I've reached my lid in terms of time and in terms of resources, and you'll get to that point. What we offer is a chance to use our services to free you up to do a lot more of the things that are important. Now, I know that David he recently put out a video that got a lot of traction, and it was a very good video on, I think it was how to make 10,000 in SEO with clients, and it was basically leveraging chamber events and local events and a lot, basically some basic salesmanship models that we know work to push this. So, David, do you want to talk on that a little bit? Just kind of a synopsis of that last presentation you did that was so good.
Yeah, I'll just bring this so everybody can see this, but just go into Google and type in how to make 10,000 a month. I believe it's still better be. Yeah. If you want to get a better idea on that, just go. That's a 31-minute video, and I actually walk through the couple different steps on really how to make money online, and if you implement that, and we actually have, I think, 2 sales reps right now that are actually actively getting ready to implement these models full time. So we know it works. We've proven it works. It worked for me. And now we're getting ready to prove it a couple more times here. And it really will. I mean, it details everything that you want to know. I don't hide anything in that. And it's a great way for you to actively go through that. And I know this video has been getting a lot of traction. We've been getting a lot of emails and notifications off it. 8,700 people watched the video, so I know it's high value for you, and I want that to be there. So if you have a chance to do that, that'll be the best way for you to really understand that question of how to work on your business versus in your business.
Okay, really, really cool. Now, here in a few moments, we're going to go to our members-only section. We're going to basically what that's going to be. This first half of this tonight's presentation is going to be public, which means there's going to be we'll make a YouTube video out of it. Now, I know many of you on the call tonight from our Master SEO Training Workshop, going through the home study course right now, have a lot of questions. You emailed us some questions over the last couple of days. And this next segment is not going to be for public consumption. It's basically based on our training, things we've gone on, and then we'll be answering any questions that you might have on your training. So, David, with that, would you like to take it away and talk about the members-only stuff that you're going to be sharing with our members tonight?
Yeah. I know we have a few questions that I want to address. I'm going to go back to Steve's question on videos. I've been playing around with videos quite a bit. I pretty much can rank anything in YouTube or in Google for videos.